So everybody was expecting me to get fucked over in jail. But I flipped the script on that.
Is there any significance to the hat you're wearing, the Sanu?
Yeah. Big shout out to the brothers in Chi-Town, you heard me? Yeah. That's come from Chicago, you heard me? I went up there, visited them brothers, and it means togetherness. Yeah. It's like some ligaments in your muscles. When you connect them and you unite them, you heard me? You become stronger. And you got all these other races. You got the Jews, you got the Asians, you got the Arabs. Man, you know, you got all these other people. You don't see them come on social media. You don't see them in public. You don't see them bashing each other. And you think, do you really think that they don't have conflict amongst each other? They just understand conflict resolution. They just understand that our business is not their business. That's what Black people need to understand. We need to start understanding that our business is our business and stop letting people profit off of our conflict and take it public, and we run into the internet every time we got an issue. If I got an issue with you, you gonna know first before the goddamn social media, bro. You gonna know first, not no motherfucking social media, bro. I'm gonna pull you over and talk to you like a man, bro. Yeah. And that's all I advocate for. And it just hurts me to the fact that it's so many dudes pretending to be this and that, but they not. And then people asking me about them. So now I'm in like, what the fuck to do, bro? I don't need clout. Nigga, my story stand on its own, boy. I really did this shit that them niggas rap. I really lived it. So I don't need no clout chase, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I want to educate our people. I want to let them know. But then when you do that, now he mad. Now he in this shit. Now, you know what I'm saying? I ain't about to try to get into no shit like that. But at the same time, I ain't about to lie, sugarcoat shit for nobody, bro.
You said you went in, you know, again, 16, you're 5'3". Physically, how did you survive? I mean, physically. How many times were you tested? How many times were you tried based on just your size?
This was my method. I used to sit by and watch dudes get tested, get tried. I didn't sit back and wait on no motherfucker to try me. I'm gonna fuck with you. I'm about to fuck with when you put me on the news, I'm about to fuck with the biggest motherfucker on there or the loudest motherfucker on there. Win, lose, or draw. That's what I did. So now you know what they said? Man, this nigga crazy. Who the fuck is man? You heard me? Some dudes literally could have fucked over me, but let me slide. But they like, man, I ain't about to fuck with that. Man, go ahead on, bro. Just go ahead on, bro.
I heard your reputation you're building a reputation basically. It's almost like a point system. Because
what you did on the street, dudes don't give a fuck about that in the jail. It's a process. So I had a reputation in the street. Niggas knew, okay, boom. But now you say, well, how you handle that if he ain't got that yeah on? You heard me? How you gonna handle woo-da-woo-da-woo? Yeah, there you little bit of nigga on here. So everybody was expecting me to get fucked over in jail. But I flipped the script on that shit. So now when you put me on the tip, I'm not about to go, let me go put my stuff in the cell and make my bed up and just go lay down and just get, no. Nigga, I went on an ignorant, out my motherfucking mind. Man, I'm not even going in the cell that you put me in. I'm throwing my bag, because you go have your little bag. I'm throwing that shit down right there at the corner. I'm finding a little corner. I'm throwing that shit right down on the corner, and I'm about to find who I'm about to pick. Yeah. I'm about to find who I'm about to pick out in this motherfucker. Because you got me ignorant, nigga. I got to be ignorant. Nobody at that time, we talking about at that time now, nobody cared about diplomacy. Yeah. Nobody cared about you being educated. Nobody cared about who your brother was, who your cousin was. Nigga, so when I got to Angola, my brother was like, hey man, I'm gonna pay a few cigarettes to the dude. He gotta connect. He gonna be able to get your job, get you pulled over here. He said, bro, get you in the dawn with me, you did? He said, but you still gotta do 9 days. I said, man, I'm cool, bro. He said, damn, but you don't want to come by your big brother? I said, it's not that, bro. I said, I just don't want to do. I said, I've been in that parish. I heard dudes tell dudes, nigga, I will fuck over you, but I'm going to let you slide, nigga, because your brother or because your uncle or something. But after you slap this nigga, after you done humiliated this nigga, you ain't about to play. I don't go, boy, you heard me? So I told him, I said, nah, bro, I'm going to stay over here for a little while. What you mean? But you don't want to come by your big brother? Yeah, I want to come by. But niggas not about to say, they respect me because of my big brother. They about to say they respect me because of me. That's how the fuck I felt, bro.
Yeah, I had a shout out Dewberry. I had Dewberry in here, and he said it took him. He went in around 17, it took him to 28 to become a man. He said, because from 17 to 28, he had to become a gorilla. He said he was in there with the apes. He said, I couldn't even be a man. I had to become a gorilla just to survive.
That's real, bro. Shout out to Dewberry. That's real, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't go in there and just see, like, I saw dudes go in there and just try to beat to themselves and try to think, man, you ain't about to, them niggas is ignorant. Not ignorant, ignorant. Like, you're not about to just go, you know what I'm saying? Especially not where I'm from. Not, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're not about to just go there and be, I'm going to just try to slide through and skip through. No, boy. You had to show who you were.
Did Angola mostly have people from Louisiana? Or was it from all over the country?
To be honest with you, bro, it was all over the country. Mostly from Louisiana, of course, because it's a state prison. It's not a federal prison. Right. But you had dudes who kept, like I said, I was in there with the dudes who were on the Barry Seal charge with the Pablo Escobar shit. Some of them was in Angola. They had a state charge for the murder, for killing Barry Seal. You did? Dudes from, Cuba, from like a lot of different places, man. I had the chance to link up. And my father, by him being a merchant marine, he had been all over the world. He had been damn near every country, every continent on the planet. So I used to live vicariously through his stories. So when I started meeting people from all over and we just started gravitating and talking and communicating, then, I learned so much about their country or their place of origin, so as I could educate somebody on it like as if I've been there,
That's right. Now, we normally do these prison stories. Again, we do not do this to glorify prison. We do this mostly to educate. And like you said, you changed not only laws in regards, but you changed mindsets in regards as far as just even with C Murder, as people talk about Corey and him having run out of pills, like you said, it's only in your mind to say that you stuck in here forever. Something may change. You don't know what God has in store. Can you speak to those guys who are possibly, whether they family watching this, their mama watching this, guys who have life sentences, if you can't speak to them as far as just keeping some type of hope. They tell people don't have hope in prison, but what should they be leaning on to not mentally throw their life away, even though they have a life sentence?
Thank you for asking that, brother. Real talk. Because that needs to be addressed. What I like to say on that is never give up. My mother, she turns 86 in May. My birthday, May 19th. My mother's birthday, May 24th. She'll be 86, right? And she told that judge, when that judge said life without parole plus 30 years to her 16-year-old child, she jumped up in the back of that courtroom. She said, you don't have the last word. Man, don't never let no man tell you. I'm living proof. I was barred out of court. What you talking about last appeal? Man, my lawyer missed my deadline. A paid attorney. I paid a lawyer. And he missed my post-conviction relief deadline. You had 3 years back then. Now you have 2. He missed my post-conviction relief deadline. And I'm cool with his children, right? Not to this day. What? I'm cool with his children right now to this day. Man, they some solid people, So when he said life without parole, and my mama stood up and said, you don't have the last word, I'm living proof that man don't have the last word. But you have to not give up on yourself. You have to show your people how to help you. You can't just be in that penitentiary just fucking off and playing sports and doing all the penitentiary politics. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't got to get into details. Yeah. Right? So, man, help people help you. That's what I did. I help people help me. People say, man, it's easy to help you. You already know everything. You just sending me directly what to do. That's how you do it, bro. And don't never give up and don't let no man tell you what you can and what you can't do. You heard me? Real talk, bro. That's how you do. You stay fighting, bro. Because look, if I'd have gave up at 9,124 days in prison, I would have never made it to 9,125 days, my motherfucking release date. You hear me?
Man, preach, man. With that being said, I got to say it once again, man. East Solid, man, Eric Brown. For those that do want to follow you, man, follow your journey, man. If you can, please let them know what social media platforms you on, man. Let them know how to follow.
Well, look, we about to put him on blast. He said he gonna help me boost my motherfuckers, my channel. You heard me?
Let's go.
My channel is Solid Point of View TV.
Solid Point of View TV.
Solid Point of View TV on YouTube, man.
Y'all go stop, pause, go subscribe right now.
Right
period.
now, man. If y'all feeling this, if y'all understood what I said, you heard me? If y'all want to see me continue to try to help y'all loved ones prevent going through this bullshit what I've been through and had my family go through for 25 motherfucking years, subscribe to Solid Point of View TV. Go follow me on Instagram at eSolid365. That means every day of the week solid, bro. That means 365. That means every day of the year solid, but not 364. Not some days solid and some days flimsy. It's 365. And then Eric E. Solid Brown on Facebook and on YouTube. I'm E. Solid. I mean on TikTok. I'm E. Solid Official. So y'all do that, man. Do that for me. You heard me? And I'm gonna be there for y'all.
There
Absolutely.
you go, man. Without question, man. You got it right here, man. You heard it, man. One of the brightest, again, the most motivating people that we've had on this platform. One of the most motivating men that I know. One of the most solid men that I know. We got to say, E Solid. This is Prison Stories 101. I salute you, man.
Salute.
Let's go.